शर्तें लगाई हैं जो कि अर्लियर जजमेंट संजय चंद्रा के केस में लगाई गई थी अक्यूज पर्सन्स पे। ऑन दोस कंडीशंस ही हैज बीन ग्रांटेड बेल टुडे।
प्रोसिक्यूशन का ये भी कहना था कि विक्टिम को कहीं ना कहीं प्रभावित करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, उनके परिवार के लोग, उनके फ्रेंड्स के फादर करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। उस पर सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने
वेल, आफ्टर हियरिंग बोथ द साइड, द सुप्रीम कोर्ट हैज टुडे ग्रांटेड बेल टू मिस्टर तरुण तेजपाल। थैंक यू सो मच।
Well, the Supreme Court, in fact, has granted bail to Tehelka co-founder Tarun Tejpal in connection with the sexual assault case. The court, do remember, had earlier granted Tejpal 3 weeks of interim bail. Today, he's been granted bail. This does come as a huge relief for Tarun Tejpal, who's been accused of assaulting a junior who was working with him at a hotel in Goa. The Supreme Court today, of course, has granted Tarun Tejpal bail. Meenakshi Bhanja is reporting on this. Yes, Meenakshi, take us through what happened.
Well, Tarun Tejpal would be sighing in relief even as we speak, because it was his application seeking extension of interim bail alongside seeking Supreme Court to permit him or grant him regular bail. That has today found favor with the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has gone ahead and granted Tarun Tejpal, accused in the sexual assault case, regular bail. But what is very interesting is the long list of conditions that the Supreme Court has imposed. The most significant condition is that the trial court proceedings have to be concluded in 8 months' time. There are strict directions from the Supreme Court for Tarun Tejpal to not be directly or indirectly in touch with any of the witnesses in the case. Alongside, the Supreme Court has also directed for Tarun Tejpal to be present in each and every trial court date hearing. So a string of directions for Tarun Tejpal to comply with. He will also surrender his passport, and it's only in compliance of these directions issued by the Supreme Court that the Supreme Court has gone ahead and granted Tarun Tejpal regular bail. Also, what is very interesting and very quickly, the Supreme Court has kept the matter open. So in case of any violation, prospective violation, which the agency can bring to Supreme Court's light, Supreme Court will again deem it appropriate to intervene if at all any conditions are not complied with.
Now, Meenakshi, the prosecution had opposed bail, saying that, as you mentioned, that he was trying to threaten witnesses, he was writing them emails. What was the court's view on that?
Well, the court has found favor with the prosecution's arguments also. Remember, it was primarily the charge of intimidation which the prosecution tried to emphasize before the top court. But given the provisions of law where bail is the norm and jail is an exception, given the fact that the investigations have been concluded in this case, the matter is underway, the trial process is already underway. Even as we speak, the Supreme Court has deemed it appropriate to go ahead and grant Tarun Tejpal regular bail. But what is very interesting is the court has still kept the matter open, which means that any future date, if there is any non-compliance on part of Tarun Tejpal or his counsels, it can easily be brought to the Supreme Court's attention then. And that point in time, the Supreme Court will feel free to intervene in the case if there is non-compliance of any of the directions, strict directions, may I quickly add, which the Supreme Court has imposed. And the most significant direction which has emerged today is the direction from the top court to conclude the trial in 8 months' time.